Hello, it's me, Sister Gloria Laluya, the Holy Cow, from the Boston Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, and I am here today to talk to you about the Boston Sisters Community Grants Fund. Since 2014, we've given away nearly $40,000 to organizations as varied and diverse as queer theater arts and performance groups, to elder and youth support organizations, and mental and physical health groups, from homeless support and food programs to groups that support our trans friends and people of color. And after a year of record-breaking fundraisers and great, amazing support from our friends and family like you, we have so much money. Like, so much money. Please, we are begging you, come and take our money. Please. But you might be asking, well, how do I get some of that money? Well, first of all, you have to be part of an organization, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. Second of all, not a requirement, but you maybe should be in Massachusetts or the New England area. We do love to give local. And third, like the groups that I mentioned above, and probably most importantly, you have to do work that makes your community a brighter, a richer, a happier, a healthier place to be. Your mission should align with the Sisters' mission of bringing happiness and joy and education and freedom and every other good word to everyone around you. If you are part of a 501c3 and you do that kind of work, then you should apply. Now, obviously, we can't give money to everybody, but it doesn't hurt to apply because you never know. So, the deadline for applications is Friday, December 4th, 2020, and you can find out more information from the groups that we've helped in the past to the criteria that we look for in organizations. All of that can be found on thebostonsisters.org. I'll put the full link down here because I don't feel like saying it out loud because there's slashes and hyphens and who can be bothered? Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this little video. We truly hope that we will get applications from all of you. Last year, I think we got about 25. Let's hope that we can double that number this year because I am the Mistress of Grants and I am ready to weed through 50 applications. That sounds like a dream to me. I am not being sarcastic. We love you. We adore you. We cannot wait until we get to actually see you in person again. Please be safe. Please be healthy. Please be fabulous. We love you. The Boston Sisters. Mwah.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. You've made it to another Friday, and we are joined by Dolores Parker and their friends.
Hi! This is so exciting!
Dolores, I am so excited. Not only are you one of the coolest puppets that I know, but you are also named after one of my favorite places in the world.
Yes! Dolores Park in San Francisco! That's where I'm from!
Oh my God. Dolores, have you ever ridden the trolleys?
Oh, yes! Like on Rice-A-Roni commercials!
Ding, ding.
Yeah! Ting, ting! Love it!
Now, Dolores, is it couth? Can I ask you, how old are you?
Well, in my mind, I'm 27. In real life, I'm not really sure.
I think that's fair. I'm not really sure how old I am right now either.
You have a very fancy background, though. Wow.
Well, so do you.
Sparkly.
Thank you. Well, Dolores, it looks like you're actually in outer space right now.
Oh, check that out. It is pretty spacey around here, I have to say.
So, Dolores, Do you, I think having friends are great. Do you know how many friends you have?
Oh gosh. Um, well, I mean, here at Gnome Home, which is what we call our house, uh, I have probably a dozen or so friends. But then out on the internet, I have lots and lots more because, a couple hundred people a week watch my show.
I think that's amazing. And do you know what I like about your show?
What?
Well, not only is it educational, but it came at such an important time, I think, in my and other people's lives. Now, I don't know if you know Dolores, but there's some, you probably do because you're very smart. There are some strange things happening outside.
Oh, so weird, right? I have to say, when we started doing this back in March, I had no idea that 36 weeks later, we'd still be at it. But people are still watching, and somehow we haven't run out of stuff to talk about yet.
Well, and I haven't run out of time to listen, which I'm so grateful for. Now, you get to talk about a lot of things. In the last 36 weeks, has there been something that, like, what is the most exciting thing you've talked about?
Well, our science experiment shows have been pretty explosive, if you know what I mean. But we've also talked about protesting and equality and justice. And every week at the end of my show, I like to say, so listen to each other and stand up for each other and be kind to each other. And I also say, wear your mask and wash your hands, because that's super important these days too.
I'm so glad you reminded me to do that. It is so important. And get your flu shot.
Yes. And when there's a vaccine, get that too.
Yes.
The sooner that happens, the sooner I can go back to playing outside.
Oh my God. No, Dolores, oh my gosh, outside. I miss the outside.
Right?
Yes. Now, for all of our friends out there that might be scared of needles, do you have any tips or tricks for them so that they get that vaccine and they don't have to be afraid?
Oh, yeah. When I got my flu shot, well, first, you want to get it in the arm you don't use as much, because it might be a little sore the next day. And then when they do it, I look away while they're doing it, and I sing a little song to myself and just try my best to be brave, because it just takes a second, you know.
Oh yeah, it's just in and out.
That's right.
Like the burger company from California.
That's right. And then you get a cool Band-Aid, so everybody knows that you did the right thing to stay healthy.
Oh my gosh. Now, so Dolores, how did you come here from San Francisco? How did you end up at the Gnome Home?
Well, it's a little fuzzy in my mind, but I remember being in San Francisco, and then I got shoved in a suitcase and ended up here. And the rest is history.
Oh.
It wasn't exactly kidnapping, but it was a little shady.
Now that you're in the Gnome Home, what's your favorite part of it?
Well, the snacks are plentiful, so I like that. And, we've had lots of more friends join us, and that's fun, as long as they listen to me mostly, because I'm the one in charge around here.
It's not Trish. It's not Amy. It's Dolores.
No, it's the Dolores show, not the Trish or Amy or anybody else show. All me, all the time. That's how I like it.
Oh my, well, and that's how we like it too. So we were talking a minute ago about how strange things are outside. What do you do, Dolores, when you're scared?
Well, sometimes I just like to hide under the covers for a little while. And sometimes I scream real loud into my pillow. But otherwise, I talk to my friends about how I'm feeling. And a lot of times they have some of the same fears too. So that helps everyone feel better.
That's really good advice, Dolores. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Now, let's see. Dolores, you've been to P-Town. You have been to Fenway Park. What do you like about the beach?
Oh, the beach is one of my favorite places, especially in P-Town, because you never know who or what you might see there. But I love the sand and the waves and the scenery. Last time we were there, I made a new friend who's a sea dragon, and that was kind of exciting.
What is a sea dragon, Dolores?
Well, this friend's name is Snarf, and it's kind of like a snake with pointy bits on it that swims around and comes up on land to scare the heck out of me.
Now, so Dolores, this is going to be, I think, and I could be wrong, so tell me if I'm wrong, but your first winter in New England, is that true?
No, I've been here for a while, but this will be the first winter of, pandemic times. But when I first got here, I actually did some news reports about blizzards. You remember back a few years ago, it snowed like every week for a while, and that was terrible. So I did a lot of videos complaining about that because being from San Francisco, I do not like snow. Not at all.
It's cold, it's wet, it's deep. Oh, no.
And gray, so gray. I like color, as you can see. Do you like my pretty dress I wore for you? Woo!
Look at it go.
Woo!
I do love that pretty dress. I think
It has flowers on it.
it reminds me of the spring.
Yeah, it's a little chilly with no sleeves today, but I wanted to look pretty for you, sister.
Well, thank you, Dolores. Dolores, do you know any sisters in San Francisco?
Oh, yes, I've met a ton of them out there. And you all do such great work in the community.
Well, I don't know if we can hold a candle to you.
Oh, you're too kind, sister, too kind.
Now, Dolores was in our Christmas in July show.
Yes, that was so fun. I got to sit in a pool and then poof, all of a sudden it was Christmas time.
And we got to meet, I think we got to meet your friends, Hans.
Yes,
And did we meet Chalvez?
and Chalvez. Yes.
God, so the pipes on that mollusk are amazing.
He is pretty impressive. I mean, not the greatest Elvis impersonator, if we're being honest, but, he puts on a good show. Would you like to meet him?
Sure.
Okay, I'll go get him.
All right, thanks. That Dolores, that she is one of the most informed puppets that I have ever met, y'all. I gotta say. And Chalvez is an amazing singer, a very good impressionator. I don't know if that's a word, but we'll go with it. And an all-around cool cat, I'd say. I can't wait for you all to meet Chalvez. Hi, Chalvez.
Well, hello there. Am I in the right place?
Well, any place you are, I think is right.
Oh, you got that right. Yeah.
Oh, so smooth. I love your glasses and your coif. Your updo.
Oh, thank you. You gotta like my sideburns.
Oh, they're the fastest in the West.
Looks like they could use a comb today, but I did what I could.
Now, Chalvez, what ocean did you come from?
Well, I am from the Mississippi Delta. I'm actually a freshwater clam, and I grew unusually large and somehow made my way all the way here to New England.
I love that story. I don't know if you're unusually large. I think you are of stately stature.
Oh, that's so kind. Some people like to say I'm oversized, you know what I mean? But the king had some oversized days too, so I don't take it personal.
Well, good. Don't let the haters get you down.
That's right. No sizest business up in here.
Now, Chalvez, when did you start singing?
Well, coming from Tennessee, it was pretty early in my upbringing. And I learned about Elvis, and whoo, I was obsessed.
Well, there's so much to be obsessed about. If you had to pick, Elvis has quite an expansive history. So do you have a favorite Elvis?
Well, I'll say the Jailhouse Rock era Elvis was the most handsome and energetic.
That is a good era Elvis. I think mine would be the war Elvis.
Oh, yes.
Talk about a pinup.
Absolutely. But suspicious minds like 70s Elvis had his own charm.
Ooh, that's a good point.
With the jumpsuits and the scarves and such. I can get down with that.
Yes, a lot of showmanship, I would say.
Oh, indeed. And those vocals, woo, so sweet.
Now, Chalvez, you have been showing up on Dolores and Friends, forgive me, for a while now. Do you have a favorite episode?
Well, I have to say the most recent favorite was Halloween, because we all wore costumes, and I sang a rewrite of Jailhouse Rock for Halloween. That was fun.
Now, what was your Elvis inspired costume on Halloween? Because I imagine it was Elvis wearing a costume.
Yes, well, I wore a crown because, of course, I'm the king.
Oh, so smart.
King of the clams, and, Elvis is the king of rock and roll.
Ooh. Now, Chalvez, did you hear that Dolly Parton funded, in part, one of the vaccines?
I did hear that. Ooh, she can do anything, that Dolly Parton.
I'll tell you, she's one of my favorite. Not only does she have that same Southern charm that you have, but she's just a good person.
She is. And you know, she gives free books to kids all over the world.
Yes. Oh, what a kind heart. Kind.
Indeed. Well, I smell my dinner's ready, so I'll take my leave, but it's been lovely, sister.
Thank you, Chalvez. It's been a delight. Bye.
Bye now.
Oh my God. I mean, I'll tell you, anything Chalvez just gets my mollusk palpitating. It does. I wonder who we're going to see next. Is there anybody out there? Hello? 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 Oh my God.
Hello?
I-
Hello?
Hello. Hi.
Hi, I'm Stan. I'm Dan. I'm Fran. And I'm Christine. And we're the Fuzzingers.
Well, hello. Now, could you tell our audience where did you come from?
Oh, well, we came from Atlanta, Georgia, actually. Yeah, this guy, David Stevens, we used to live with him. And then we came here in a box. A very tiny, tiny box.
What was that comfortable, Christine?
No, I hated it. But now we're free, mostly.
What is your favorite part of the house to explore?
I would have to say the basement.
Oh.
The basement? Are you crazy? I like the living room because that's where the TV is. You get too much screen time, though. Sometimes we bicker.
You know, I think that's a healthy thing to do as long as you give each other the space that you need and forgive each other and yourselves at the end of the day.
That's good advice. Our space usually looks like this. That's about it.
Now, Fuzzingers, I know that you are good storytellers. Do you want to maybe tell our audience a story?
Oh, sure. We don't have any props, though. No set pieces. We can work it out. Yeah, we'll just wing it. It'll be fine. Okay. Once upon a time, long, long ago, there was a terrifying basement. Oh no. And in the basement was a spider. Ooh. I don't like spiders. Just go with it. Well, anyway, the spider once got very hungry and came up the stairs. Boom, 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 boom. Oh no, it's a spider! Run! But the spider had just run out of tissues and needed a refill. So we got him some new ones, and he said thank you. The end. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. You know, I think there's a moral to that story, which is that things that we may not be familiar with or things that scare us, if we give it a chance, maybe it's not so frightening after all.
That's right. You can't judge a book by its cover. Even though that's a cliche, it's true.
I don't know. There's some Daniel Steele novels that I'm pretty sure that I can judge by their cover, but I'll.
Good one. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'll take that advice. I think I can put that in the bank.
You got it.
Now,
Well, thanks, sister.
thank you, Fuzzingers.
That was fun.
Don't get attacked by the cat.
Oh no, we don't like cats. Woo!
Oh, well, I'll see you soon, Fuzzingers.
Bye.
Y'all, that was the Buzzingers. They are absolutely amazing. Now, there's another friend that I'm looking forward to meeting whose name is Cranston. And Cranston is, I think, a monster, but I could be wrong. We'll ask them how they prefer to be addressed as. Yes, we'll do that. I think I hear Cranston now. Cranston? Huh?
How you doing?
You know, I'm doing okay, Cranston. I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking.
You know me. I'm doing all right.
Now, Cranston, where are you from?
I'm from Cumberland, Rhode Island. That's where I used to live with my mother.
Now, I've often heard that Rhode Island is neither a road nor is it an island. Can you confirm this?
Discuss. Yeah, that's right. It's not an island, but it's tiny. And it's not a road, but we got lots of them. Like I-95.
Oh, right. That gets you to New York.
Yeah. I haven't been there in forever, but I hope to go back one of these days, you know, when this is all over.
I think you will. I can imagine you sitting at the palace watching Judy Garland.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Drinking a swizzle or something.
Oh, what's a swizzle?
Well, you know, it's a fizzy drink which is got some sweetness in it. It's tasty.
Oh, I'll have to try
But
it.
in the summer, I like to drink an awful. You know what that is?
Oh, what's an awful?
It's awful big and it's awful tasty. It's a milkshake.
Oh. Now, do milkshakes bring all the monsters to the yard?
Oh, it brings them to my yard for sure. Whoop, whoop.
Boop, boop. Cranston, what has your favorite episode been to date?
Well, we did one all about ice cream, and I got to talk about the awful and the frozen treats of Rhode Island.
Oh.
And there was another one about science when Trish had me fishing for ice cubes. I thought we was going fishing on the pier, but we fished in the kitchen and she tricked me into doing science. Can you believe that?
Well, I think more than, first of all, that Trish is very smart, but I think
Yeah.
science is really important right now.
Oh yeah, the scientists and inventors and the doctors and nurses, they're all our heroes.
That's right. Thank you for reminding us of that.
No problem.
Cranston, do you know how old you are?
You know, somebody told me that once, but I don't remember. I think I'm probably around I'm about 19, I'd say.
Oh, that's a great age.
Yeah.
And your fur looks perfect.
Oh, thank you. I brushed it before I came out.
Now, it looks like you're wearing a shirt. What is on that
Oh,
shirt?
yeah. You like my t-shirt? Hold on.
Is that a...
It's here.
Yes.
It's the official Ask Dolores and Friends t-shirt. And it's got Dolores here, as you can see. And it says her thing, you know, listen and stand up and be kind. So it's a nice message.
Where can people find this shirt if they want it?
Well, you could get it on redbubble.com. And we also post the link on our Ask Dolores and Friends shows on the videos and on the stagehand over here, Amy, on her Facebook page.
Oh.
We can send it to you too if you like.
Yeah, fabulous. Actually, if you look down, Cranston, the link is right there right now. Look, there it is. Wow. I know.
Magic! Look at that! Ah,
So magical. Now, oh, Cranston.
yeah.
Speaking of the stagehand, Amy, do you think I could meet Amy?
You want to talk to her?
I mean,
I'm so much more interesting.
well, before you run off, how about you tell us a fun fact about Cranston?
Oh, all right. Well, like I said, I'm from Cumberland and I lived with my mother, and I'm Italian on my mother's side and monster on my father's side. And my favorite food is pizza chips.
Like Pringle pizza chips, or
Oh, no. Pizza chips are a Rhode Island specialty. Yeah, you get them at the bakery, and they're like a little disc of heaven. Like dough with sauce on it. Super simple, but delicious.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Oh, yeah. Next time you're in Providence or Cranston or Cumberland, you got to go to the bakery and ask for pizza chips. Tell them Cranston sent ya.
I will. Thank you, Cranston.
All right, I'll go get the stagehand.
All right, thank you.
Nice to see ya.
Good to
See you later.
Mwah. Well, hello, Amy.
Hello, sister. How are you?
Oh, it's another wonderful day in this experience, but we've got hope because there's
Absolutely.
coming.
We absolutely do.
I also got to tell you, I've got some big feelings because I am fed up with the nonsense that I'm seeing, Amy. All right? Like, the election is done. So 45 needs to do what everybody else that has done that is lost. I know, I'm a big loser, biggest loser that's ever lost. Huge numbers, huge. But just needs to go away. Just stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Amy, tell me a little bit about Dolores and her friends.
Well, we started, so Dolores had been doing little short videos by herself for a few years. And when the pandemic hit and I found myself working from home, it seemed like a great opportunity to put some light and hope and color out into the world by doing this weekly show with Dolores and friends. And, we never expected that, 8 months later, we'd still be doing it. But it's been a lot of fun, and it's been great practice for me as a puppeteer because, moving mouth puppets are my favorite type of puppets, but it's probably what I am least strong at. So it's been really good. It's been sort of a trial by fire practice for me, which has been really helpful.
That's interesting. How many types of puppets are there?
Oh God, probably as many as you can imagine. So moving mouth is the Muppety type like Dolores is. And then there are glove puppets, which, are more like, their mouths don't move, but their arms and their heads do.
So like Daniel the Tiger.
Yeah, or Fox is one of our characters who's a glove puppet.
Oh yes, Fox is kind of a fop.
He is. He is indeed. And then there's finger puppets like the Fuzzingers, but also shadow puppets and marionettes. There's tabletop puppetry or budaishi, which usually takes 3 people to operate it.
Oh wait, is that I think I saw during the first lockdown, it was like a chimpanzee, and it had 3 or 4 humans that were, and it ended up looking like they were modern dance, but you stopped looking at them and you just focused in on this creature that was alive.
Yes, exactly. And then there's rod puppets. I had one around here, but he's disappeared. Like Hans the hot dog is a rod puppet. Yeah, there's so many different types from all over the world, and so it's, there's always more to explore, which is really nice.
So when you're filming an episode, how long does it take to film like a half an hour segment?
I would say, between the writing and any sort of building of props or decorations or anything like that, from inception to hitting stop on the video, there's probably about, I would say, 10 to 12 hours per show prep.
Wow.
It may not seem that way. Because we don't do a lot of rehearsing, so a lot of it is improv on the fly as well. But yeah, it's labor intensive, but it's a labor of love, and it's become part of my weekly routine.
I can tell you as a viewer, well, first of all, I'm grateful that it's part of your routine, because I think it's part of a lot of other people's as well. The Monday is the presser, and then Wednesday it's always exciting, but they always feel so fluid and natural. So I can definitely see that a lot of work goes into it. I think my favorite episode was when Trish was gone, and the puppets and the friends were looking for Trish.
Yes. Yes, where's Trish? And we had her on a milk carton and everything.
Where are you coming up with these ideas? Do people write in? Do you and Trish, do you just sit up bolt upright in the middle of the night and you go, the freezer, we have to go to the freezer? Where are these concepts coming from?
Sometimes it's like that. It is very collaborative. Luckily, over the last 8 months, there have been a fair number of holidays, so those are very easy. We've done, every time it's the first day of spring or summer or fall, those are kind of obvious themes for us to go after, which makes our job a little bit easier. And then we sit and think about, well, what kind of TV shows are there? And that's kind of where, like, we did a cooking show once. We've done magic a couple times. We've done science. We did a game show, which was perhaps a little bit more involved than we anticipated, but was really fun. And then some weeks it's like, if I just can't really think of anything, it's like whatever springs to mind. And that's when we do things like, this show's all about ice cream.
That was one of my favorite episodes. I love ice cream, and so does Cranston.
He does. He's a big fan.
Did you go to school to become to bring life to these friends?
Yeah, I went to so UConn has they have a bachelor's and a master's puppet arts program. I went for the online certificate program, which is 4 courses over 2 years, which you can do from home, which was great because I wasn't in a place to be able to move to Connecticut to do the in-person. But the 4 courses are hand puppetry, shadow. There's a world puppet theater, which is more of a history course where you're doing research and writing papers. And then there's one on materials and techniques where you're actually learning how to build puppets. So it's a really great overview.
Have you built, I think all of the puppets we've met have a home. So do any of Dolores's friends originate from inside what is it called? The puppet, what is your
Gnome home?
The gnome home. Have any originated from inside the gnome home?
Yes, I built Chalvez for that materials and techniques course. He was my final project. And there's a few hand puppets, Fox and Frankly, who's a gnome, and there's a bear and a rabbit. I built all of them for the hand puppetry course.
Oh my God. Can you tell me a little bit about, there's an organization that you're always drawing awareness to and raising funds for. So can you tell me who they are? Sure.
It's Puppet Showplace Theater, which is in Brookline, right across from the Brookline Village T-Stop. I'm sporting their shirt today. I'm on the board of trustees there. And when I started doing the show, it was because, as you're well aware, with live theater being shut down, all of these venues and organizations have been in really big financial trouble.
Right.
So I started raising money. They started an emergency fund when the pandemic hit and they had to shut their doors. And I've been raising money for them ever since. And then more recently, they had something else happen where their bank account was drained. So that added a whole other layer on top of what was already a difficult situation.
Nobody deserves that. That's horrible.
Yeah. So there's been another huge fundraising push in light of that. And, people's generosity has just been really humbling and heartwarming. And, when the call kind of went out to save Puppet Showplace Theater, people really took that to heart and jumped in. And, we're in a place now where we know we don't have to close the doors, at least until, after the end of this calendar year, which gives us some time to sort of regroup, which is really, really helpful.
Well, folks, make sure you visit, the link is below. Make sure you visit and support, obviously, if you are able to, because if you know Dolores and her friends, then it's a cause worth supporting. Amy, what is a misconception about puppeteers?
Well, I think, it's funny. Sometimes it's harder for me to come out as a puppeteer than as a queer person, because I think there is a misconception that puppeteers are all, weirdos, which I guess kind of we are, but we're really nice weirdos. And the thing that most people think of when they hear puppeteer is the Muppets or Sesame Street, which is, Dolores and Friends is akin to that. But there is a lot more artistry and a lot more options in terms of puppetry. So I think it's more theatrical than people give it credit for.
That is a good misconception, and also a good, I think, dose of honesty or truth. I like that. Have you ever been to the Museum of the Moving Picture in New York?
Yeah, Museum of the Moving Image. Yeah, that's a great. The Henson exhibit there is mind-blowing. It's just amazing. Have you seen it?
I did see it. Two things happened. One is a negative. I was driving from Midtown to there, and the directions had me make a left under some overpass, and there were police waiting, and I guess it had recently shifted to a no turn, and so I made the turn to get into the place, and they were like, "Boo, boo." But It was very religious. I am not even ashamed to say that. It was very religious to be amongst those puppets that have meant so much to me through my life. Like to see Miss Piggy and Kermit, and there's y'all. There's even an exhibit where you get to see the puppeteers from Henson Studios working, and then do it yourself. You know, where you pick the background, you pick the like sound bite, and off you go. And it is a unique feeling to bring a character to life through your voice, your mind, and the connection into your hand. Can you tell me a little bit about that process and what it's like for you?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of times the puppet will kind of tell you who they want to be. So with Dolores, with any puppet really, you know, you spend some time with it, and I usually experiment with different voices to see, you know, what sort of matches with whatever the personality that I think this puppet has. But that's not always necessarily how it turns out. But with Dolores, her voice came very quickly, and her sort of lovable curmudgeon control freak kind of thing came out quickly as well.
She does have that stage manager-esque quality.
Yes.
I love that. So how can people find your show?
Well, it's on Facebook under my name, Amy West. And I also post all the episodes after the fact on my YouTube channel. And those episodes are captioned. So if anyone needs closed captioning, you can get that there. Yeah, and we're just trying to keep it going for as long as we can.
Well, I mean, I believe in my heart of hearts that there is no limit. I think no limits is really important when we talk about creativity. Speaking of creativity, what has been the hardest part of this journey for you?
I think not having a live audience is always a challenge. I mean, even if they're live online, not getting that immediate response has been something a little bit interesting to get used to. I've also done several online puppet slams during the pandemic, and that was a real adjustment too, because you're used to hearing the audience, and you can tell, you know, as a performer, you know too, if people are getting it or not, you know right away, and you can sort of adjust. But when it's online and people might be typing stuff in the comments, but you can't see them, you can't hear them, you just kind of have to go with it and hope that it all works out. So that's been a little bit of a challenge.
All right, Amy, have you learned anything about yourself through this journey?
Yeah, I think, is it RuPaul who said drag reveals who you truly are? I think that might have been.
That definitely is a RuPaul quote. I think yes, we'll go with that. Yeah, I love that.
I think that's true of puppetry as well, and that's something that, especially as I bring in more characters, that's been really revealing to me. Is they're all some element of me that maybe doesn't come out in my day-to-day real life interactions with people. So they're all, you know, sort of facets of who I am, which has been really fun to explore. And you get away with a lot more because they're puppets, so they can say stuff that I personally probably would not.
You know, and that there's a history of that. There's Madam and Triumph, the insult comic dog. Madam has definitely been an inspiration. Waylon Flowers. To be able to be so unapologetically homosexual, but through a flamboyant female puppet and to just like say the things, you know, it's almost carte blanche to say things. What an amazing freedom. It's a gift that you get to give yourself and your audience.
Yeah. Well, and it goes back like thousands of years that puppets have always been able to speak truth to power in a way that human beings could not. So, you know, puppets could comment on the government, for example, in times when a person would be severely persecuted or even killed for doing that. And even, you know, in World War II in Germany and Czechoslovakia, puppeteers were able to, you know, tell people what was really going on under the guise of, you know, it's just puppets, it's just entertainment. So they were able to kind of get away with it mostly. Where if, you know, if it was the puppeteer as a person saying all those things, they certainly, yeah, it wouldn't have ended well for them.
Oh, that's so intense. Now, on an intimate level, do you have, these are two questions. Number one, do you have any fur babies at your house?
Not currently. We had 3 cats in our heyday, but they've all, you know, kitties get old and they don't last forever. So we have not sort of re-upped our fur baby population, but we do love other people's very much.
When you had animals, did they ever meet the puppets?
I think maybe one of them did. The Dolores style puppets have really had a major presence here, I'd say, over the last 6 or 7 years.
Okay.
I mean, I've always had puppets and loved puppets, but it's really been more my thing more recently. So I think our other cats didn't really have much interaction with them.
Now the second intimate question is Trish. Does your partner Trish ever slip the puppets on and give it back to you? Have you ever seen her? Have you walked in and she's like,
oh yes, she well, Cranston is one of her favorites, and she's actually the one who developed the backstory for him. So she and Cranston are very close, and she'll perform Cranston sometimes off camera. She's also great with the Fuzzingers, and we have this little tiny snow cone puppet with little like toothpick rod arms, and she gives me the business with that puppet all the time.
was this the puppet that was in the freezer?
Yes.
I love it. Well, Amy, thank you for spending this last hour with us, and thank you for inviting Dolores and her friends to come join us. Would it be all right to say good night to Dolores?
Sure, I'm sure she would love it.
All right.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been great to see you.
Likewise.
I hope to see you in real life again one day soon.
I hope to have you on stage someday soon.
That would be amazing.
Fabulous. All right, let's do it. Hi, Dolores.
I'm back!
Yay! Now, Dolores, before we say good evening and good night to all of our friends out there, do you have a hidden talent that we don't know about?
Well, I can play the harmonica, but I don't have one with me.
That's good to know. You know what? I think that our audience will have to see that when they tune in to your show, which is when? When is your show?
Oh, yes. You can watch Ask Dolores, that's me, and friends every Wednesday at noon Eastern Time on Facebook Live. You won't want to miss it.
That's amazing. Now, I also heard from your stagehand that there's a YouTube channel that has closed captioning.
Yes, all of our shows and all of our promos and some old ones that just feature me are on YouTube with closed captioning and available all the time, 24/7.
Y'all, you heard it here. When you need Dolores in your life and it's not a Wednesday, head on over to YouTube. The link is below.
Look
Oh,
at that!
there it
You
is.
can get your fix anytime.
Now, Dolores, before I say goodbye to you, I wanted to show you this necklace. I made
Ooh,
this necklace when I was in kindergarten.
no way! That's beautiful.
It's got right over here, it's got my name written on it before I learned really how to write letters. So there's a mixed mash of uppercase and lowercase letters, but there it is nonetheless.
You were an artist from the beginning.
And so are you. You are a teacher, an artist, and a good friend.
Oh, thank you. You are too. This was really fun.
I had a blast. Dolores, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much for having all of us and for watching our show.
But this is the Dolores Show. It is the Dolores Show. Wow. Good night, Dolores.
Good night, sister. We love you.
We love you.
Hello, it's me, Sister Gloria Hallelujah, the Holy Cow, from the Boston Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, and I am here today to talk to you about the Boston Sisters Community Grants Fund. Since 2014, we've given away nearly $40,000 to organizations as varied and diverse as queer theater arts and performance groups, to elder and youth support organizations, and mental and physical health groups, from homeless support and food programs to groups that support our trans friends and people of color. And after a year of record-breaking fundraisers and great, amazing support from our friends and family like you, we have so much money. Like, so much money. Please, we are begging you, come and take our money. Please. But you might be asking, well, how do I get some of that money? Well, first of all, you have to be part of an organization, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. Second of all, not a requirement, but you maybe should be in Massachusetts or the New England area. We do love to give local. And third, like the groups that I mentioned above, and probably most importantly, you have to do work that makes your community a brighter, a richer, a happier, a healthier place to be. Your mission should align with the Sisters' mission of bringing happiness and joy and education and freedom and every other good word to everyone around you. If you are part of a 501c3 and you do that kind of work, then you should apply. Now, obviously, we can't give money to everybody, but it doesn't hurt to apply because you never know. So, the deadline for applications is Friday, December 4th, 2020, and you can find out more information from the groups that we've helped in the past to the criteria that we look for in organizations. All of that can be found on thebostonsisters.org. I'll put the full link down here because I don't feel like saying it out loud because there's slashes and hyphens and who can be bothered? Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this little video. We truly hope that we will get applications from all of you. Last year, I think we got about 25. Let's hope that we can double that number this year because I am the Mistress of Grants and I am ready to weed through 50 applications. That sounds like a dream to me. I am not being sarcastic. We love you. We adore you. We cannot wait until we get to actually see you in person again. Please be safe. Please be healthy. Please be fabulous. We love you. The Boston Sisters. Mwah.